nakshatra is, what is it?
Shravan nakshatra.
Shravan nakshatra. So that is considered very auspicious, and it is said that that is happening once or twice in a century.
144 years, after 144 years.
Yeah, just like the Mahakumbha Mela in Prayag. Now this Kumbha Mela also in Prayag, that is Ardha Kumbha Mela. So that is every 6 years there's a Ardha Kumbha Mela, and every 12 years there's the Kumbha Mela. So now is Ardha Kumbha Mela, and after 6 years will be the Kumbha Mela, the full Kumbha Mela, Purna Kumbha Mela, and then 6 years later again Ardha. And 12 times 12, that is 100, after 144 years, that comes the Mahakumbha Mela, so which was in 1977 when Srila Prabhupada was in Prayag also for the Mahakumbha Mela. And so that is very, very auspicious, and at that time Prabhupada said that many yogis who were 600-700 years old who had come for this Mahakumbha Mela. So similarly this day is very auspicious, and even of course in Prayag today is Snan, Namavasya Tithi Magh Mas, Snan is there. And and whenever the Amavasya is there on Monday, there's a festival in Bandirvan. And it is mentioned that there in the early morning, so when you go there, you will see that actually the water for a few seconds is turning into milk. But then the whole day actually is considered auspicious, and so many persons are coming. There's a Bandirvan Mela, which is happening today. And so that is also auspicious, and so many pilgrims are going there. Of course, Radha Krishna is in the center, should be in the center, and there's a small temple there, and there's so many benefits may be mentioned if you take a bath at that time in Bandirvan, or of course in Prayag Kumbha Mela, or as during this day, according to Shastra. So it is very auspicious to take bath in a holy river or holy place, or it is auspicious to do some charity, give some charity, go down and feed the brahmanas, and so on. So many things may be done, but the most important, of course, is to hear Krishna Katha, and then even more important than that, ultimately, is to chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Because the goal of life is actually to become perfect, to realize Krishna's Sarup and our Sarup, and our relationship with Krishna, so that we may enter into the pastimes of Krishna. So that is the goal of the human form of life. So, in order to do that, so first of all we have to take shelter of Sri Guru, as Rupa Goswami has explained, Guru Padashray. And then Krishna tells Arjuna that Tadvini Paripadena Paraprasna Sevaya Upadekshati Devyanam Janinas Tattvadarshana. Then we have to take shelter of the spiritual master who has seen the truth, who has seen Krishna, a pure devotee. And then we should approach him humbly and render service and inquire from him about the absolute truth, how to make advancement in spiritual life. So the Bhagavad Shravan has to be there from the sadhu, and then some deity worship has to be there, puja has to be performed, which we will do also. Sapta Pancha Puja, which I will explain in a few words, in a few minutes, in a few words also. And so Dham Vas is there, and also Mahatapurna Ang, but most important is Krishna Nam. But even it is mentioned, if on this day we give some charity, there will be so many benefits there. We can live a long life, we can be healthy. And even if you go to Bandirvan, for the Mela there are many ladies there who go to take bath there, also, of course, they will worship Krishna. But there's a saying also there that if the ladies who don't have a child, or couple who don't have a child, or they don't have a boy, especially, then they go there, and if the lady takes bath on this day, then she will become pregnant. And of course, you have to follow the process. Garbhadan Samskar. And then usually they're blessed with a child, or a boy also. But the main reason why we may go there also is to try to come closer to Krishna, to satisfy Krishna, to serve Krishna. So that is our main purpose always. Even when we go to Prayag, or we give some charity, so it's not to get some, to live nicely, to get some wealth, but it's actually so that we may come closer to Krishna. So we do everything for Krishna's pleasure. So, but then for us, for some of us, or many of us, so today is a most auspicious day, because it is the divine appearance of Param Pujapad, His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj. Srila Narayana Maharaj Gurudev Ki Jai. So this auspicious day, he appeared in a state of Bharat Rasha known as Bihar, and the district Buxar, and the village known as Tiwaripur. Tiwari, so these are the Brahmanas from there, and so they were actually worshipping, most of them they were worshipping Sitaram. And so there are many from the Ramanuja Sampradaya, they are worshipping Sitaram, and Srila Gurudev also in his childhood, and the family was worshipping Sitaram, so he was also worshipping Sitaram. So today, on this Titi, so he appeared, so we're observing according to Titi, but the year was 1921. So we'll be 98 years, and in 2 years we'll be observing the 100th anniversary appearance of His Divine Grace. So the pure devotees of the Lord, the divine personalities, and everything about them is divine. So their appearance is divine. So as mentioned, he appeared in the family of devotees who were worshipping Ramchandra Bhagavan. So he grew up in a Brahmana family, and of course he had to go to school, and he was good in the studies. And himself was saying he was always first or second. And he was just saying the facts, that pure devotees are very humble, but they're stating the facts. And then of course in school you have also some sporting activities. And so he was also very fast in running. And he was playing soccer also. He was a good soccer player. So, and because he was good in sports, many times actually the police, they're taking those who are good in sports, because the policemen, they have to be strong, and they have to be disciplined. So sports person, usually they are disciplined, and so Gurudev, he was, of course, the Vaishnava, he was very disciplined, and pure behavior, and living a pure life. So therefore, so it came to the notice of the police that this is a special personality here, and he's good in sports, so we should take him in our folds. So they gave him a post as police inspector, and he was doing his duty very nicely. And so he used to chant, also japa already before meeting the devotees, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because in Ramanuja Sampradaya they also chanting Hare Krishna. But they start with Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So he was doing his job very good because he was a devotee of the Lord, so he has transcendental intelligence. So he was able to take care of all the small cases which came in front of him very expertly. So everyone was very pleased with him. And when, as we know, the policemen, usually when they have free time, they talk so much prajalpa. But Gurudev, he had the japamala. And even while he was sitting in the police thana, in the police station, he was chanting japa when he had free time. So then his parents asked him to enter the Grihastha ashram, which he did. He married, and he had 2 daughters, 2 girls. So everything was going on nicely. Everyone was happy, and then one time some Vaishnavas came, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, actually from the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, which was established by one of the disciples of Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, who became the sannyas guru of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And actually, the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti was founded by Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, but he had asked Srila Prabhupada to be also founding member. That actually our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he was also the founding member. There were 3, one more person was there, devotee. So already there the connection was there. They were God brothers and a close relationship. So these devotees of the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, they went to that Tiwaripur. And so there was a brahmachari there who were leading the other brahmacharis. What was his name? Radhanath brahmachari was his name. And so then Gurudev, so at that time, so he also met them, and he was very impressed by them. And actually he felt that he should join them, so hearing their discourses. But of course, being in a position and having responsibilities, taking care of his family, even his parents, so he was not able to go, but he was desiring to go with them. And then he actually started to chant more, and he chanted 64 rounds, even before he was initiated, and doing his job and taking care of the family. But then his desire became stronger and stronger to join the Gaudiya Math. And he's expressed to his family members, of course, they were completely against that idea. But then at one point, he was just a little more than 26 years old. That night time, he just left. And he went towards, because he had heard that they are staying in Navadvip, Devananda Gaudiya Math. So he just went to the train station night time, and actually he was putting some cloth in his bed and covering, so that in the morning they went inside and they saw, and they thought, oh, he's still sleeping. And then it was getting late, and of course when they saw that he just left and he gone to Mayapur. And then actually, so it was must be a slow train. He had reached nighttime also. So already had left nighttime, but then he reached the next evening time. It was dark. And then at that time in Navadvip, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj asked one of his disciples Sajan, Sevak, that you should please go to the train station with one torchlight, and there's one person will be there, Tiwari family.
Oh, nobody informed him, no?
No, nobody informed, but
Just
because
said.
the guru, so the Sri Kalagya, he knows. So Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj also pure devotee, so he knew that he's coming. So he sent him to the train station to call for Srila Gurudev. So then he went there, and then, so to his surprise also. So but then he immediately understood that, so that is my Gurudev, who sent his brahmachari. So the Sajan Sevak Brahmachari actually is disciple of Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada. He was just 9 years old when he joined the mat. And then, but then after the disappearance of Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada, then, and even in his presence, so he had asked Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, who at that time was Bihari Brahmachari, to take care of that boy, which he did. And then after he left, and he gave him also Brahman initiation. So that was just before Go Purnima, just 1 month before. So then he joined the mat, and he stayed there and go on Go Purnima. So Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj saw that he's a very qualified, exalted personality. So he gave him first and second initiation. And then immediately he was also taking him as his personal servant. And then he was, of course, very nicely following his Guru Maharaj wherever he went, in different places preaching. And he was doing menial service, washing his clothes and whatever was needed, cooking for him sometimes also. So then, so very quickly he was respected, and he was given the title Bhakta Bandhav, the friend of the Bhaktas. So because he was not only serving his Guru Maharaj, but he was serving the Vaishnavas. So these are the symptoms of the great Vaishnavas. They are always engaged in the service of Hari Guru Vaishnav. So then, seeing his qualifications, and so he decided to give sannyas to his 3 disciples, who were senior disciples at that time. So Radhanath Das Brahmachari, Sajan Sevak Das Brahmachari, and at that time his name was Gaur Narayan Das Brahmachari. So at that time he was just 31 years old. So he took sannyas, these 3 devotees, and they got the name Bhaktivedanta, all of them. He gave the title Bhaktivedanta. And Sajan Sevaki became Bhaktivedanta Vamana Maharaj, who became the Acharya then after Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj left. And then Radhanath Brahmachari became Trivikram Maharaj, and Gaur Narayan Das Brahmachari became Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. And they became the pillars of the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti. And when he left this world, Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, in 1968, so then he appointed Vama Maharaj as the Acharya and the president of the Samiti, and Narayan Maharaj the vice president, and Trivikram Maharaj was the secretary. So even A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, when he heard that his sannyas guru left, he had mentioned in ISKCON, he had written a letter that today is the disappearance of my sannyas, my god-brother and sannyas guru, Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj. And then he said, in all my temples, I request the devotees to offer Puspanjali to his lotus feet. So, and he was quoting one verse from Vilap Kusumanji by Raghunath Das Goswami, where he is glorifying actually Sanatana Goswami and telling that I was not willing to embrace the renounced order of life, but Sanatana Goswami, he forced me to do that. So instead of Sanatana of the verse, he was writing Keshav Maharaj, so that he actually, I was not willing, but then he forced me to take sannyas. And actually they were both, Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj and Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, they would lovingly ask him to enter into sannyas ashram. Maybe some force was there by Bhaktivedanta, but Narayana Maharaj was younger, so he accepted him as Shiksha Guru also, but he told him also that please take sannyas and preach, which then our Prabhupada did. So anyhow then, so Narayana Maharaj was preaching, and he was actually asked to stay in Mathura, and because he appeared in Bihar, Hindi speaking, so he wanted to have a temple in Mathura to preach Krishna consciousness. So he asked Narayana Maharaj to stay there and preach, which he did shortly after taking sannyas. And he had been staying there till till he went for preaching all over the world. So, but that was always his base in Mathura. And Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj had asked also Narayana Maharaj to translate the books of the previous acharyas, especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, to translate from Bengali to Hindi. And so especially one important book which was there is the Jaiva Dharma. First it was only in Bengali, and only the first two parts, but the third part, which is about entering into Braj Bhav at the highest stage, that was not printed in Bengali, because that is for those who are more advanced. But then Narayana Maharaj, he also, most of the editions are there, so they are not presented in Bengali. So, but then he felt it should be translated, and he translated in Hindi, and then he showed to Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, and he approved. So there's a very wonderful book, and so many of the books of the previous acharyas, so they were then translated in Hindi by Narayana Maharaj, and so he was very successful in his preaching. So, and then after Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, so he was the vice president, and he was initiating the bridge buses who used to come to take shelter, but the acharya was Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. Only later on, when Vamana Maharaj was ready to leave this planet, then he also asked Narayana Maharaj to initiate the brahmacharis. So, but in the Gaudiya Samiti, so he was the Diksha Guru, Vamana Maharaj, and Narayana Maharaj was the Siksha Guru for all the devotees in northern India. So there was a loving relationship between these two great personalities. So till the end of their life in this world. So much so that even on the Vyasa Puja day of Vamana Maharaj, so Bhaktivedanta Maharaj left this world. So the appearance and the life and the disappearance of the great personalities are sublime. So it is our great fortune to have come in contact with these great personalities, and under their guidance we are trying to perform our devotional service. By their mercy, we are able to do some seva, and we're trying to, especially in these days, so some special efforts should be there to get more and more mercy, so that we may come ultimately to the highest stage of pure devotional service. It is a gradual process, just like children, they're going to school, Pratham Sreni, Ditya Sreni, first class, second class, and so on. So in Bhakti also, different levels are there. So we have to, step by step, by endeavoring and by getting the mercy, we can come to a higher level. Then we endeavor more, we'll get more mercy. So in this way we can go up. So, but especially, so on the daily basis, actually we take shelter of Sri Guru and Yasyastri Sandhyam. So those who have the Gayatri, who has Gayatri here? Gayatri, 1, 2. Okay. But Gayatri is there also, Yasyastri Sandhyam, to remember the spiritual master. So at least 3 times a day. Of course, we should constantly remember the spiritual master. But then we may be engaged in so many activities, and the mind ring is wandering here and there, and we have to remember Krishna also, Mahaprabhu. But when we actually, in the advanced stage, when you remember Mahaprabhu, you remember Sri Guru also there in Gaur Lila. And when you remember Radha Krishna, you remember Sri Guru in the Manjari Swarup, Radha Krishna Lila. But every day we have to worship the spiritual master, remember him as much as possible. So therefore, before worshipping Krishna, we worship Guru, and then Gauranga, and then Krishna. Even while chanting, first we have to actually remember Guru, then Gauranga, and we may chant Panchatattva mantra. Then we can properly chant the holy names, the Maha mantra. So whatever we're doing, so first we offer respect to Guru before we speak, before we cook. So before we do any activity, we remember Guru, and then Gauranga, and then Krishna. And then we may be successful. So actually also after the disappearance, so actually even in Prabhupada's time, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's time, so he was doing so much seva, helping Prabhupada, especially when Prabhupada actually took sannyas. So at that time, he was already sannyasi, although he was younger because he took sannyas early age, but he was there and he was doing the yagya for the sannyas ceremony of Prabhupada. And he made the danda for our Prabhupada. He gave him the cloth, sannyas cloth. And then, so then when Prabhupada went to the West, then Srila Prabhupada, he asked Narayana Maharaj to send different things to America, like Mridanga, Kartal, deities, the first Radha Krishna deities in New York. I had the opportunity to serve them also. They were sent by Narayana Maharaj. And then also one more thing from Mathura which Prabhupada likes, Pera, Mathura Pere. So he sent him from here to Mathura, he sent to America Pera. A few times he had sent. So, and then there was a lot of exchange of letters between Prabhupada. Prabhupada was writing about his preaching there to Narayana Maharaj. And so, and of course he had asked also some Gaudiya Vaishnavas to come to America and help him. But they were all engaged here in serving their Gumaras, so it was not possible. But then actually also an important thing to mention, when A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our Prabhupada, was about to leave this world, so then he asked for Narayana Maharaj to come, and he told him, and actually, he told him that I want you to do the Samadhi ceremony. And just like Bhaktisiddhanta before he left, he told one of his senior sannyasi disciples, Sridhar Maharaj, to chant Sirupa Manjari Pada Sehi Mora Sampada, Se Mora Bhajana Pujana, Se Mora Pranadana, Se Mora Bharana, Se Mora Jivana Divana. So taking shelter of Sri Rupa Manjari. So as sadakas we take shelter of Rupa Goswami. We are known as Rupa Nuga Vaishnavas. As sadakas we take shelter of Rupa Goswami. And then when we are more advanced into Siddhavasta on the transcendental platform, we take shelter of Rupa Manjari. So Bhaktivedanta, before he left, so he asked Sridhar Maharaj to chant. Although Sridhar Maharaj's voice was not so sweet, he was not such an well-known Kirtaniya or Bhajaniya, but he had bhav, he had a proper Siddhanta, he knew. So Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, so he had called one time for him and asked him to chant also Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Because he had a very beautiful voice. And so he had asked him to chant. First time actually I come in contact with Narayana Maharaj was when I was in America. When I really came in contact, there was some cassette of him singing beautiful bhajans. And I was immediately attracted by that. And then very eager to meet that great personality who is singing so beautifully. So there's love by first sight. And so love by first hearing also. And actually by hearing from Sri Guru, then we can really see. Simply by seeing him, that will not help. That may help also to some extent, but the main thing is we have to hear from him, from Sri Guru. And Prabhupada had also mentioned first time he saw Bhaktisiddhanta and then heard from him, when he was saying, then I understood what is love. The real love, the spiritual love, transcendental love. So then Narayana Maharaj, so then he was actually doing the sannyas ceremony, putting Prabhupada in samadhi, and guided the devotees, Prabhupada's disciples. So in this way also we can see, like in Indian Vedic culture, Vaishnava culture, in tradition, who will do the last rite? The eldest son. So that's he had so much love for Narayana Maharaj and understood that he's so qualified, most qualified in doing all the ceremonies. So therefore he asked him to put him in samadhi. He didn't ask any of his disciples. So from this we can understand the exalted position of Narayana Maharaj. And then he had told him also that before he left, that one time he had called him and he told him, I want you to take care of my disciples. Please guide them. I have given them some guidance, but they are new. They need more guidance. And some of Prabhupada's intelligent disciples, they went then to Narayana Maharaj to get some guidance also. Even some went to Sridhar Maharaj to take guidance, and they were also very close, Sridhar Maharaj and Prabhupada. Sridhar Maharaj stayed with Prabhupada in Calcutta, in his house, upstairs, where he was staying. So, but then some of Prabhupada's disciples, they were objecting why they are going outside. So, what to do? So even in transcendental life, sometimes the difficulties are there and different of opinions are there. Even in Golok, different kinds of gopis are there. Radharani's gopis and Swapaksha from her group, and then Vipaksha from the opposite group, rival group. Chandravali and so on, Bhadra and Padma. And then some who are Surit, who are friendly towards both, or Tatashta. So different kinds of gopis are there. And then there's some transcendental rivalry is there. And so even in this world, so it is there amongst the Vaishnavas sometimes. But there actually, as we see in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, So the principle should be there that we should be very humble. Trinarapi sunichina tororapi sahishnana. Very humble, tolerant and respectful. But sometimes some difficulties may be there. So there were some difficulties, and so then the devotees who were going to see Narayana Maharaj were not allowed to go there to see him anymore. That was a GBC resolution, and they had to follow. But then, at that time also, Govinda Maharaj was preaching very nicely. But then he also left this world in 1996, and that is actually just after he left. Because Govinda Maharaj also one of them who was preaching very strongly Braj Bhakti. So then Narayana Maharaj, that year 1996, he started going to the West in the summer, preaching Krishna consciousness, Braj Bhakti, and attracting so many devotees. And then every year he was going actually 2 times all over the world, in the summer and then in the winter. But for Chaturmas he was always in Braj. Only the last 2 years maybe he went also sometimes in Russia during Chaturmas. So his contribution was very important in that sense that he not only preached Krishna consciousness in the form of sadhana bhakti, but he was trying to induce the devotees to embrace the higher, the second limb of sadhana bhakti, which is the Raganuga bhakti, following the eternal associates of Krishna and Braj. So that is an important contribution, and which he has given to the world, to the Vaishnava world, and those who are intelligent, they were actually embracing his teachings, which is following the previous acharyas. So we are so much indebted to him, and so we are, on this day we are offering our Shraddhanjali, and we're offering Pushpanjali also, and pray for his mercy that we may be able to advance more and more in devotional service, and that we may be able to serve and especially also try to help to spread Krishna consciousness, because that is actually the business of the Vaishnavas. Yaridekataika Krishna Padesh. So whoever you meet, you speak about Krishna. And then Bharat Bhumita Haila Manusha Janma Janma Satakari Paropakar Kara Paropakar. So those who have taken birth in Bharatvarsha. So that is not only in India, because now Bharatvarsha has become very small, but that is one part of Bhumandal. So where Mahaprabhu appeared, of course, is Bharatvarsha, but in Jambudvip, so the 9 Varshas are there. So one of them is Bharatvarsha. So all those who are following Mahaprabhu, they should make their life perfect, and then they should try to preach Krishna consciousness. And that is the highest welfare work. So whatever we can do, so that we should do. But most important is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So the glories are unlimited of the great personalities, the pure devotees. And so I just spoke a few words. And so we should do a small puja, as it is done by, actually that was introduced by Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada. In the Gaudiya Math, that is known as Sapta Panchak Puja. So Sapta Panchak, 7 times 5. Just to show that we have to, and so on this day it was usually done on the appearance day of the Spirit Master, known as Vyasa Puja. They are the representatives of Vyasa Dev, the Acharya, the Spirit Master. So that is done the appearance day, and of the Spirit Master it is performed. And of course, even on Vyas Purnima, that is Guru Purnima, first day of Chaturmas, where all the followers of the Vedic literatures all the Vaishnavas are worshipping the spiritual master and Vyasadeva. Even the Mayavadis, they respect Vyasadeva. So it is, I will just explain a few words and then we'll do the puja. So Sapta Panchap, 7 times 5. So first the worship of the spiritual master. So here we have the swastik and we have one extra 5 because empty space is there, so it looks more complete when there are also personalities there. So first we have the Guru Panchak, so the spiritual master. So first we worship Guru Dev, and then Param Guru Dev, and then Parat Par Guru Dev, then Param Parat Par Guru Dev, and then Parameshti Guru Dev. So one spiritual master, like in my case Narayana Maharaj, and then Param Guru Dev is Prabhupada or Bhakti Pragyan, and then Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada, and Gaur Kishore Das Babuji Maharaj, and then Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So then the next is the Acharya Panchak. So we have to worship the Acharyas. So one of them is, of course, very prominent is Shukadeva Goswami, who spoke the Bhagavatam. And then we have the 4 Acharyas from the 4th Sampradaya. Madhvacharya, who preached the Dvaita philosophy. And then we have Ramanujacharya, who preached the Vishishta Dvaita philosophy. And then we have Nimbarka, who preached the Dvaita Advaita philosophy. And then Vishnu Swami, who preached the Shuddha Dvaita philosophy. And the next is Vyas Panchak. So Srila Vyasadeva and then his 4 main disciples to whom he entrusted the 4 Vedas. The Jaimini Rishi, Paila Rishi, then Sumanta Rishi and Vaishapayam Rishi. And then we have the Sanak Sanatan Panchak. So the 4 commanders, Sanak Sanatan, Sanandan and Sanak Kumar, and then Vishwakshena. And then we have Krishna Panchak, so that is Krishna, and then the Chaturvyu, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradumna, and Aniruddha. And then we have Upasya Panchak, Upasya, and the Aradhya Dev, Ishtadev. To whom are we doing Upasana? So of course, as Mahaprabhu told, and that is mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanyastad Dhama Vrindavanam. So Aradhya Dev, that is Krishna. And then the highest Upasana is by the gopis. Vrajavaravarganaya Kalpitaha Upasana. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanyastad Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachi Upasana Vrajavaravarganaya Kalpitaha Vrajavadu. The Brajavadu, the damsels of Braj, the gopis, so their upasana, their worship is the most exalted. So again there, so the Guru is there, so we remember him in Sakhi Swarup, and of course in Golila also, worshipping there Gaur Gadadhar. So therefore, actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur established worship of Gaur Gadadhar and then in the Mool Mat, in Chaitanya Mat, and the Yoga Pit, and Mayapur, there the main deities are there, and then also Bhaktivinoda Thakur's place is there, where he had the deity there of Gogadada was there. And then where he was having in Gudumdrip, he was staying in Surabikunj, was his house and his office, where he was doing his bhajan and also doing his duties. And there he also had actually Gaur Gadadhar. And he wrote also some prayers in glorification of Mahaprabhu. And there is also offering respect to Gaur Gadadhar. Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukata Bhaja Godumakanana Kunjavidum. So worshipping the moon of Gudrumdrip, that is Gaurachandra, that is Mahaprabhu. And then emphasizing that we should remember Gaur Gadadhar and hear about the wonderful pastimes loving exchange of Gaur Gadadhar. So there the next is Guru and Gaur Gadadhar, and Guru, Gauranga, Gadadhar, and Gandharvika Giridhari. 5G. So, and then here we have some, also we offer respect to Rupa Raghunath and Jiv Goswami, Haridas Thakur, and Sarup Damodar. So additional. So we do the simple puja, Panchopachar, Gandha Pushp Dugdi Naivedya, and then so at that time now we can have and then maybe we can have Raghunath speak something about Gurudev. Any other disciples here? No? Okay. You want to say something?
I want to ask a question, Prabhu.
Yeah, one question.
Like, what is the most essential instruction of Pujapad Maharaj?
Most important instruction?
Yeah.
In general or specifically
to enhance in bhakti, what to do in life? Was
Oh, well, I mean, one time I asked him, how can I serve you? I was doing little seva because at the beginning when not so many devotees were there, I was actually his first male Western disciple of Narayana Maharaj. So I asked him, so I was on his Vyasa Puja, usually I was buying some new clothes for him. And then I asked him what seva can I do? What's something more done? He said the most important seva is to chant Hare Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna. But then as he was preaching, and so two things he was very much emphasizing. One is sadhu sang, associating with the pure devotees. And there in the sadhu sang, of course you serve, but then hearing Krishna Katha. One time, one disciple of Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada went to see Narayana Maharaj doing Kartik. And then he had spoken and glorifying Krishna Nam, that is his most important activity. And he left. After speaking, he was going to his own mat back. And then Gurudev started speaking. Of course, he had welcomed him, and then as he left, he also showed respect because he was senior to Gurudev also. And then he was starting to speak, and then he was speaking about holy names and saying, yes, holy name ultimately is most important. But then he was saying, but in the beginning, for the ordinary devotees, for the sadhakas, most important is to hear Krishna Katha from the pure devotees. If you don't have the association of the advanced devotees, if you don't hear Hari Katha, your chanting will be like zero. So then it was ultimately, chanting is most important, but if you're not advanced, if you don't have Nam Ruchi, then you must try to have as much association as possible with the advanced devotees. And not just physical association, do a little seva, but you have to hear. Vani seva is more important than Vapu seva. You have to hear Krishna Katha from the advanced devotees. So from the pure devotees. So he was very much stressing on that. Hearing Krishna Katha is most important. And then, by hearing Krishna Katha from the pure devotee, then you can chant Krishna Nam. Then you can worship the deities. Then you can live in the holy place. Then you can do Braj Mandal Parikrama. So that is what he was stressing. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Okay, so.
One more question.
One more question.
How can we serve, like Gurudev is not present now?
Gurudev is not present, yes.
Is physically.
Yes.
So how can we serve him more, except hearing? Hearing is a part.
Yes.
And other than that, what should we do to serve him?
Yes.
How to remember him more?
Yes. Yeah. Well, actually, again, the same thing. So, I mean, his disappearance is there, but he's still there, that we understand.
Yes.
We should understand. And so therefore there again, most important is to chant Hare Krishna. But if you don't have Namruchi, then most important is you hear.
Yes.
So even after he has left, so many, even now there's a Audio Seva team. Audio Seva team.
Yeah.
So you can help in transcribing the lectures and then you can hear. So again, there most important is hearing. Therefore also even all the proper disciples, they still every day they want to listen Prabhupada, what he has said. Even there, after the disappearance, after he left, still most important is chanting only names. But in order that you chant nicely, you can chant nicely, you have to hear. And only after hearing for a long time, as Prabhupada explained also in one place, then actually Krishna will be manifested in your heart to some extent, and then you can properly chant. But while you're chanting, then you will also remember Guru. It is also, there's one quote in one of the Sandarbhas of Jiva Goswami, that after the disappearance of Sri Guru, then the mantra is there for the disciple. So two kinds of mantra is there. One is the Gayatri and one is the Mahamantra. So therefore when you chant the Gayatri, you're connected to Guru. While he's present and even after his disappearance, you chant the Gayatri, then you're connected. If you're following the rules and regulations properly. And then while chanting, you're connected with Guru, while chanting Harinam. Because as I explained before, first Guru Puja, then Gauranga, then Krishna. Same. What is Harinam? And no different from Krishna. Krishna, Nama, no different. So therefore, while you chant Harinam, you should remember Guru also. Even in one place he said, when you chant Harinam, you should think Guru is there, opposite you. And then not only as you see him as the Acharya Swarup, but then he's there in Gaur Lila and Krishna Lila. So without Guru, you have no existence. It's everything. So even after the disappearance, so then you have to pray. When he was there, so you had the association with him. And then when he leaves, then you should feel separation from him. So then you should cry, so that you can feel his presence. And if you don't feel, then you have to cry. If you cannot cry with tears, then you have to cry that you can cry with tears in the future. So because Sri Guru is always there. So but it depends upon you, how much you're following, your intensity. Therefore they said the relationship with Guru is eternal, but only if you are properly situated. Krishna is eternal, Guru is eternal, and we are eternal. So if you have purified consciousness, if you understand that you are not this body, then you can see your relationship with Guru, and that is then the eternal relationship. And then Chakudano Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu say, then is your Prabhu life after life, if you have the strong relationship with Guru. If not, the next lifetime you may have another Guru. But if your relationship is strong, the next lifetime you will be with your Guru Dev. Like that, eternal relationship is there. So we have to cultivate this consciousness, this understanding. Okay? Hare Krishna. Okay, so the Bhoga is here.
Bhoga is there, yeah.
Okay. So we do puja quickly, and at the same time we do some bhajan.
Yeah.
Bhajan.
Yeah, the Shri Guru Charana Padma Pivan Bhagati Sarana. You can sing that.
While we do the...
Satyanja Puja.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. Yeah, okay.
Make the video of the whole puja also.
Okay, Achman Ka.
There it is.
Everything is there. See. You know already Shri Guru Charana. That is slow. It's slow.
Which one?
Right.
This one.
Yes. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sama Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sama Vandamai Savanamate Vandamai Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sama Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Jahara Prasade He Bhavatariya Jahara Prasade He Bhavatariya Jahara Prasade He Bhavatariya Krishna Krishna Prabhu Krishna Guru Padma Chipte Kumadiya Guru Mukha Padma Chipte Kumadiya Arna Kari Ho Mone Asha Arna Kariya Mane Arna Kariya Mane Asha Arna Kariya Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttamagati Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttamagati Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttamagati Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttamagate Pure Sarva Asha Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Lakshudana Nilodari Janme Janme Prabhu Lakshudana चक्षुदान
चक्षुदान दिलो दे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से भक्ति अविद्या विनाशायते भक्ति अविद्या विनाशायते वेद गाए आहारचरिता वेद गाए आहारचरिता गुरु चरण पथा केवल भक्ति सथा मनो मोहि सावधान मागे मनो मोहि सावधान मते श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आधम जनावा बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आधम जनावा बंधु लोकनाथ लोकनाथ लोके लोकनाथ लोके लोकनाथ महाप्रभु करो महाप्रभु करो दया हे हो मोरे पद छाया महाप्रभु करो गुरु चरण केवल भक्ति सद्मा बंधु मोहि सावधान माते बंधु मोहि सावधान माते बंधु मोहि सावधान माते बंधु मोहि सावधान माते हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दाते करुणा कोरी हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर हे दासे करुणा करे हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी हरे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर दासे करुणा करे पद छाया जगमे तुम्हारा चरण ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी छाया बेगोमी छाया दोष शोधी छाया गुण देव पाते छाया बेगोमी छाया दोष शोधी छाया बेगोमी छाया दोष शोधी छाया गुण देव पाते छाया दाता संगा छाया दाता संगा देह आमार बसे संगे छाया दाता संगा देह आमार बसे संगे ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी ओ हे नहीं पाए बाला हरि नाम संकीर्तने एकाकी अमर नहीं पाए बाला हरि नाम संकीर्तने एकाकी अमर नहीं पाए बाला हरि नाम संकीर्तने एकाकी अमर तुम्हें कृपा करी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देव कृष्ण नाम गाने तुम्हें कृपा करे श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देव कृष्ण नाम गाने तुम्हें कृपा करी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देव कृष्ण नाम गाने कृपा करी सदा बेलो दिया कृष्ण नाम गाने ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी हे वैष्णव ठाकुर कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्ण जी के पार तुम्हारा शक्ति आछे
हरे कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा जी के पार तुम्हारा शक्ति आछे
कृष्ण से तुम्हारा कृष्ण जी के पार तुम्हारा शक्ति आछे
कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा जी के पार तुम्हारा शक्ति आछे
कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली ताई तब पाछे पाछे
अभी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले दाए तब पाछे पाछे
अभी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली ताई तब पाछे पाछे
अभी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले दाई तब पाछे पाछे
ठाकुर दया दाता जय उदासी करुणा करी
ठाकुर दया दाता
या पद छाया सदाया तुम्हारा चरण धूले
भावन तुम्हार बिना के होना
आप दूर
प्रभु गंगारा स्वराशाइले
गंगारा स्वराशाइले पश्चाते पावना
गंगारा स्वराशाइले पश्चात भगवान दर्शने पवित्र करो तुम्हारे
करुणा करो वैष्णव
बर करुणा करो वैष्णव
हरे हरि